Greetings, thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about training spears. Talking about training spears today from one of my favorite suppliers for anything that's armed martial arts, most especially Hema, historical European martial arts. Woodenswords.com is their website. Purple Heart Armoury has been in the business for quite some time. They've been a pioneer in many ways. They have a whole range of synthetic weapons, even their own custom commissioned steel weapons, and they do have a lot of rubberized weapons. I can't recommend this company enough. They're located in Texas. Their shipping is quick. Their service is on point. They have just about anything you need if you're getting into Hema, sport fighting, your gauntlets, things like that. Not for historical armored combat where you need custom steel gear. They have a lot of really cool semi-safe weapons. This is their spearhead, so you can use this as a standalone spear trainer. It also works great to put at the end of something like a poleaxe. Double-sided spears. It's really awesome. Super flexible. It maintains its shape pretty well. It only gets a minor set, but it does eventually correct. From a distance, this thing's pretty awesome. It doesn't look all too rubbery. Pretty easy to fit this up as well. So on a 1-inch shaft, wood of your choosing. This is poplar, not the strongest wood, but it's readily available and it will work for low contact sparring. It's pretty unlikely to shatter. I also use pine, but pine does get dinged up pretty quickly and it does snap pretty easily. You're much better off with hickory or ash. Hickory and ash are not too hard to get, but you can get hickory a little easier from my experience. Purple Heart Armoury also has a whole line of different types of staffs and hafts that you might need. Really long lengths too. I'm sure it's going to cost a little extra for shipping, but it's well worth it. So this is a 1-inch shaft, and I sanded and slightly tapered this down to 3/4 inch. So it would be pretty easy to swap this thing out. There's no glue, no pins. It's just pressure fit. And it's a pretty great proxy for training spear. I do have spears that have like a metal ball bearing welded to the tip, but they still leave some pretty brutal bruises. There's no give whatsoever. And they're still safe in a controlled environment, of course. But these help you go a little harder. And what I like about these is it's a little safer to throw. Not entirely safe, of course. I'd prefer someone that was throwing this to be wearing a full fencing mask. But this is going to help us in our reenactment group for doing all kinds of different techniques that might require throwing or maybe a little bit more full contact. And these will look pretty good out in a battle demonstration with a couple guys not really wearing armor. Poking each other with these. It's not too bad. I believe it's 9 inches overall, and the socket goes in pretty far, so I think it extends your whole situation about 6 inches. I really recommend checking them out if you're looking for some training weapons, even if you're just getting started in HEMA. They have a lot of things that go from beginner grade all the way to expert. I'm glad I was able to make a video about this spear today. I'm sure a lot of people have wondered and looked around. There hasn't been a whole lot of options for spearheads like this that are readily available. Cold Steel also makes one that looks okay, but it's pretty darn large. So for my particular application, I like the more compact spearhead. And this one's measuring in at about almost 7 feet. It's just under 7 feet. And it's great. It is a lot lighter than a 1-foot steel spearhead. But once again, this is going to be something that's for training solo on a Pell. It's just great because spears are such a fun weapon, and they're really fun to try to defeat if you're not using a spear. Once you have one of these in both hands, it's actually one of the most natural, formidable weapons, in my opinion, that a beginner can pick up a spear with both hands and hold their own fairly well, as long as they can maintain some distance. And with a nice smooth spear shaft, retracting your spear back into your hand is great when someone's trying to close distance, and you can go ahead and plant one right on them. That's one thing that I do have issues with, and I've had just some bruises, no big deal. But let's say you're advancing your opponent, and he's got his spear and he's retracted like that. When he goes ahead and fires back into you, it's gonna collect his power and your power when you take that hit. So it's not a bad idea to have something that will collapse. It'll make you a little more confident to try some more moves against your friends. So I'll make sure to put a link for Purple Heart Armoury down below, and I'll make some more videos on a few of their pieces. I do have a video that includes a lot of their training swords, so check that out if you're interested. But thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time.